The 2025 NFL offseason could make or break the Los Angeles Chargers' future as they enter year two under general manager Joe Hortiz and head coach Jim Harbaugh. After an impressive 11-6 season and a playoff appearance, the Chargers are now at a crossroads. With so many key players hitting free agency and the salary cap looming large, the team faces some tough decisions that will shape their roster for years to come. So let's have an overview of the Chargers' current situation. Where are they standing now? How many players are hitting free agency? How many draft picks do they have? What is the salary cap for them? And most importantly, which positions they must consider this offseason. I'm sure after watching this video, you will be in better position to evaluate the Chargers. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. The 2025 NFL League year begins on March 12th, and with 30 players eligible for free agency, the Chargers have a lot to address. These players fall into three categories: unrestricted free agents, UFAs, restricted free agents, RFAs, and exclusive rights free agents, ERFAs. UFAs are players with 4 or more accrued seasons who can sign with any team. RFAs have 3 accrued seasons, and their original team can offer qualifying tenders, giving them the right of first refusal or draft pick compensation. RFAs, on the other hand, are players with fewer than 3 accrued seasons, who cannot negotiate with other teams if their original team offers them a 1-year minimum contract. So the Chargers have 27 UFAs, including some key contributors. Khalil Mack, a defensive powerhouse, posted 8.5 sacks in 2024 and has been a consistent threat on the edge, bringing leadership to the defense. Asante Samuel Jr., one of the rising stars in the secondary, finished the season with 3 interceptions and 13 pass deflections. J.K. Dobbins, the running back who amassed over 1,000 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns in 2024, played a critical role in the Chargers' ground game. Joshua Palmer, with 45 receptions for 550 yards and 3 touchdowns, has been a reliable target in the receiving corps. Denzel Perryman, a veteran linebacker, recorded 105 total tackles and 2 sacks, playing a central role in stopping the run. On the offensive line, Bradley Bozeman, with 16 starts at center, has been pivotal in protecting the quarterback and opening lanes for the running backs. Other key players like DJ Chark, who caught 40 passes for 560 yards and 4 touchdowns, have been valuable contributors at wide receiver, while Poona Ford provided much-needed help on the defensive line, racking up 50 tackles and 3 sacks. Defensive back Christian Fulton, with 2 interceptions and 12 pass deflections, and safety Marcus May, who added 65 tackles and 1 interception, have both been reliable options in the secondary. Meanwhile, Morgan Fox posted 6 sacks and 20 quarterback hits, contributing significantly to the Chargers' pass rush. Troy Dye, who recorded 58 tackles and 2 sacks in a versatile linebacker role, and Elijah Molden, with 35 tackles and 2 interceptions, have added depth to the defense. Hayden Hurst, with 30 receptions and 2 touchdowns as a tight end, has been a solid option in the passing game. Simi Fehoko and Jalen Rigor, both wide receivers, have been part of a deep receiving rotation, with Fehoko catching 20 passes for 300 yards and Rigor contributing 30 catches for 400 yards. Veteran players like Taylor Heineke, who served as a backup quarterback, and Tony Jefferson, who has been a steady presence in the secondary, will also be weighing heavily in the Chargers' decisions. Sam Mustipher, a center with experience in 15 games, and Nick Neiman, who contributed 40 tackles, bring key depth to the team. Chris Rumpf II, with 4 sacks and 10 quarterback pressures, and Shaq Quarterman, who finished with 40 tackles, have both made their mark on special teams and defensive depth. Finally, J.K. Scott, the Chargers punter, and Easton Stick, the backup quarterback, round out the UFA group. In addition to the UFAs, the Chargers have 2 restricted free agents, RFAs, Foster Sarell and Stone Smart. Foster Sarell, an offensive tackle, has been a key backup on the line, providing depth in 2024. While he hasn't started every game, Sarell played in 10 games and provided solid support as a rotational player, maintaining a low penalty count and solid protection in limited snaps. Stone Smart, a defensive tackle, appeared in 12 games this season and contributed 20 tackles along with 2 sacks. Although he's primarily been a rotational player, Smart's ability to disrupt the quarterback and provide depth in the defensive line has been valuable to the Chargers' defense. In addition to the RFAs, the Chargers have 1 exclusive rights free agent, ERFA, Tucker Fisk, a tight end who played in a limited role during the 2024 season. Fisk appeared in 8 games, primarily as a blocking tight end, and made a small but noticeable impact on special teams. While he only recorded 5 receptions for 45 yards, his primary value came as a reliable presence in the blocking schemes, helping to protect the quarterback and open running lanes. Fisk's contributions, though minimal in the passing game, were crucial in the Chargers' overall offensive strategy, especially in short yardage and goal line situations. The NFL has yet to officially set the 2025 salary cap, but it is currently projected to be $272.5 million. This would be a significant jump from the 2024 cap of $255.4 million. As of Monday morning, the Chargers are currently projected to have more than $60 million in cap space, according to Over the Cap, a site that tracks each team's approximate cap space. It's worth noting that this number could change based on what the 2025 salary cap is set at, or if the Bolts make any roster moves that affect the number, and the Chargers hold the number. 22nd overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, which will be held April 24th to 26th in Green Bay. The Bolts currently have 7 selections in the draft, including their own pick in each of the first 6 rounds. The Chargers also have an additional 6th-round pick from New England that was acquired in the J.C. Jackson trade. The Chargers' first 3 picks are slated to be number 1, number 2, and number 3, 22, number 55, and number 86 overall. Compensatory picks won't officially be awarded until later this spring, so there's a chance the Chargers end up with more than their 7 current picks. Now, let's talk about the positions the Chargers need to fill during this offseason considering their free agency situation. First of all, let's discuss the offensive line. The Bolts are set at tackle with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, but the interior of the offensive line bears monitoring, especially at center. Bozeman started all 17 games plus the playoff contest and led the Chargers with 1,057 offensive snaps in 2024. The Bolts could bring him back or look elsewhere to add a starting center. Jaimes, the Bolts' backup center this past season, is also slated to be a free agent. The Chargers could also look guard depth with Mustipher also set to be a free agent. And for defensive line, Ford was one of the Bolts' best defensive overall players in 2024 after signing a 1-year deal. But he will have a chance to test free agency again if the Chargers don't bring him back. Fox has spent the past 3 seasons in powder blue and has been a dependable and consistent player. Tard, a training camp addition, flashed at times against both the run and the pass in 2024. That's 3 of the Chargers' top 4 defensive linemen from 2024 who may or may not be back with the Bolts next season. Next is linebacker. I am including outside linebackers and off-ball linebackers here. First, with Mack slated to be a free agent, the Chargers might potentially need to replace his leadership and production at outside linebacker. If he returns, the Chargers will once again have a future Hall of Famer on the roster. Linebacker is a position to watch too, as 4 players are scheduled to be free agents. Perryman was a starter when healthy in 2024, while Dye also started at times this past season. Add in that Neiman and Quarterman are also free agents, and the Bolts linebacker room could suddenly be thin behind Dye and Henley. Junior Colson could play a more prominent role in 2025, but the Bolts will likely need to add more depth behind those players at some point this offseason. Then we have secondary. Both cornerback and safety are lumped together in this group. Fulton provided starting caliber play at outside cornerback in 2024 after signing a 1-year deal last offseason. Samuel missed nearly all of the 2024 with a shoulder injury, and Apple was reliable when he saw limited action. Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart shined as 5th-round rookies in 2024, but the Chargers will surely need more depth at this spot going forward. Derwin James and Alohi Gilman are both under contract as the Bolts starting safety, but keep in mind that James played and thrived at more a slot cornerback role under Jesse Minter in 2024. And with Molden, May, and Jefferson also set to be free agents, the Chargers will need to replenish the back half of this position group too. The tight end position is probably the most discussed position on this channel. The Chargers ended the season with 4 tight ends on the active roster, and only Will Dissly is under contract for 2024. There are questions around the other 3, as Hurst will be a UFA, while Smart is a RFA and Fisk is an EFRA. Then we have a wide receiver. Ladd McConkey was a star as a rookie, Quentin Johnston took a step forward in year 2, and Darius Davis flashed as a receiver, while continuing to be a special teams weapon. Those are currently the only 3 players on the roster for 2025. Palmer didn't play in the playoffs due to injury and is set to be a free agent after he was a 2021 3rd-round pick. Chark, a 2024 free agent addition, will also be a free agent after tallying just 4 catches this past season. And depth pieces such as Regor and Fehoko, each of whom had bright moments in 2024, are also slated to hit free agency. This could be a key area to watch in order to get more weapons for Justin Herbert. So now the question is, can they keep their core intact and build on last season's success? Or will these offseason moves push them in a new direction? With every decision carrying heavy weight, the Chargers front office will have to tread carefully if they want to stay in the hunt for a Super Bowl. So what do you think? Who will stay with the Chargers this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.